primetime Poulton, keep it entertaining. You already knowin', outworking everybody and he don't ever quit. Talking about plenty comics like Graveyard Shift, Sea Dogs, Viking Whoop, U.S. Assassin, doing just what he loves. This is his passion. Bring more value to your dollar. No, I'm not frontin'. That's how just a writer became a moral compass. This is primetime Poulton. This is primetime Poulton. Let's go.
What's up, guys? Happy Wednesday. You know what that means. La Pod Gods. I'm the Moral Compass. With me, the Cowboy, Phil McNulty. Phil, man, what's going on?
Been a brutal week. Been terrible. I am now forced to use my iPad right now because my computer died on me the other night. So I gotta now fight to make sure I get all the files off of it because it may be done forever. Apple couldn't help me, so I'm taking it this Saturday afternoon to see if we can fix it right before we get together for our full gear watch.
Yeah. Phil and I, we're gonna have the theater experience. We're going to a local Cinemark theater, watching Full Gear. They've done this a few times. I went maybe 2 pay-per-views ago, and it was awesome. It was like watching a live wrestling event, like people yelling at the big screen, and I can't wait to cheer for Eddie Kingston. I hope he beats up CM Punk.
You're gonna get so booed. I may have to change my seat away from you. No way I'm rooting against Punk, but did you see that they purposely tried to basically homage the CM Punk John Cena promo right before Money in the Bank?
No.
That's what they were doing with that promo to give Eddie Kingston sort of the baby face push. Yeah. So good on AEW. Tony Khan's been purposely holding CM Punk back, which is so weird to think that's what he's doing.
Yeah. We got Hicks Villain in the chat. What's up, Hicks Villain? Thanks for joining us. We also got the Emerald Avenger, Hail the Pod Gods, watching WWE so I don't have to. Yeah, that's what we're here for, man. Before we get into some WWE, though, we're going to do a little shilling. We got U.S. Assassin. Phil, I got the print proof from my pre-production guy, Ryan, and I'm going to be ordering some books tonight. So it's exciting. I got all the stretch goal cards and prints in. I got this nice shiny U.S. Assassin. You know what? I'll go make myself full screen so you get a better picture of it. Foil U.S. Assassin versus Graveyard Shift card. Artwork by Sedna Khan, a great Extreme Studios artist from the 90s. That's just one of the things you get for free when you back U.S. Assassin 3. But,
nice.
Yeah, so that's going off to the printer real soon. Going to get Mike out here to sign all the books, and hopefully everyone will have their books before Christmas. But there's also one other thing I'd like to share. This was tweeted to me earlier today when I said we were doing La Pod Gods. Let's see if I can bring it up. So people have been getting their mini Moral Compass figures.
Oh, nice.
Gary G on Twitter, he sent me like a little whole tweet thread. and let's go through it. First one, Mark, here are some matches to cover on today's stream. So look at this, a Moral Compass custom ring.
Amazing.
Look at the ring skirt. We got U.S. Assassin, Graveyard Shift, Viking Wolf, Sea Dog, and codename Kill Switch. This is incredible. Overhead view of the ring. Just amazing. And then look, the competitors. We got a sumo wrestler representing manga. Got me, the Moral Compass, representing Comicsgate. This guy kind of looks like a Great Value Ultimate Warrior representing DC. And then we got a luchador representing Marvel.
Great Value Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, there you go. But look at this. Off the top rope, the Moral Compass bringing down the elbow on DC Comics.
We call that the Savage Elbow.
And then you got Manga beating up Marvel.
Uh-oh.
And then the Moral Compass beating up Manga.
The way it should be.
Absolutely. And then the Moral Compass standing tall over all other comics. This was awesome to get this morning. And that's one of the things with the Moral Compass minifigures. There's a contest. The best figure photography wins a box set, a Moral Compass box set. It'll come in a collector's case, and it'll have the box will be full of my books: Graveyard Shift, Viking Wolf, U.S. Assassin, Sea Dog. So keep sending your pictures in, and tag me at Coney Waves. I love seeing this stuff. All right, Phil. Oh, Emerald Avenger wants to know, when is U.S. Assassin coming down? So I think I'm going to wait. Mike, if everything goes according to plan, Mike's going to be here the first weekend of December. I'll close it down when Mike's here. I think maybe we can get like one last push, one little last closeout stream with Mike.
That's awesome.
Hicksville and got Viking Wolf and Lil Moral this week. Awesome, man. I love seeing people get their books. All right. Ready to talk some WWE and NXT?
Yes, let's do it. We've watched again. This week in particular, we watched these shows so you don't have to. And woo-wee, NXT 2.0. Oh my God!
You know what? In a sick way, I look forward to these shows.
Me too. It's like we're gluttons for punishment. And actually, Raw had a pretty decent storyline going on this week, so it wasn't the worst thing in the world this week.
Yeah, we're gonna dive into Raw right now. Show kicks off with Seth Rollins coming out. Seth Rollins, man, he is right now my least favorite person in wrestling, and it's not because his character's a bad guy. It's because his act is so awful and overbearing.
He came out as Mary Drippins today. On Monday night.
He's just like, it's just so over the top terrible.
I think it's working, to be honest. I hate the gimmick, right?
Yeah.
Hate the gimmick. And I think I hate the gimmick because he's trying to do sort of this millennial, almost Zoomer type gimmick, and it's really working because it's infuriating, because I'm like, oh my God, these are some of the trouble students I have to deal with all day.
I don't like it at all. I just want him to go away. But
is it going from heat or to go away heat?
For me, it's go away heat.
Mm-hmm.
So he's out there and he's saying, he wants to apologize. Him and KO were in on it all along. He's trying to set KO up. KO has heard enough. He comes out and he chases off Seth Rollins. So we're going to continue the KO. You got to believe me. I wasn't trying to.
This has a great payoff. This was actually the one thing. This really reminded me that when the WWE wants to put on a storyline, they can put on a storyline. Now, is it that they're doing this for Owens to possibly re-up at the end of his contract, that they're giving him almost this sort of, it's like whenever someone's contract is running out, they get a little mini push to try and see if they can keep him. And I think they're doing the same thing with Owens right now.
Yeah, it'll be interesting if when his contract runs out, if they do, we wish him, the same, like the Moxley treatment,
right? Where
it just like, they gave him this big send off and stuff, which you usually don't, you don't get from WWE. Hicksville wants to know, where does Seth and Becky even get those outfits?
When you're making that type of coin, they get them custom made.
Past Master Dan says, you suffer for all of us. Thank you. You're welcome, man. All right. So first match is an 8-man tag team match. Same 4 teams we've been seeing for the last couple weeks, except AJ Styles is back.
This is getting monotonous. I don't know where this is going to be. If this is, what we're getting. We're getting a Survivor Series 4-way tag match where all of them are going to have to be eliminated one by one.
And will Randy Orton finally face the Giant?
I don't think so. I think it'll actually come down to what I think they'll do is they'll do a 4-way eliminator tag team match. I think the final two will be Riddle and Omos because they're sort of building towards Randy being, sort of like this figure for Riddle to learn from. So ultimately, I think it'll be Omos and Riddle, and as the final two, I think um, Orton will hit him with an RKO, and Riddle will get the win. That's how I ultimately see this turning out.
Yeah, I'd go for that. That's some good booking, Phil. Next up, Dominic Mysterio. He thought he was a part of the Raw team. Nuh-uh. Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce says, I made a mistake. I forgot someone. You can still be on the team, but you have to beat this guy. And it's the returning Bobby Lashley, and he has MVP with him. This isn't looking good for Dom.
This was great. I don't like Dominic Mysterio. I just think he's so green. Good for his age, but he just, we're getting the same character over and over again from him. He doesn't evolve. And this is isn't it sometimes just great to see the little annoying kid get beat up by the muscled up dude?
You know what the best part of this was? Afterwards, when Dom is being checked out in the trader's room, and Austin Theory sneaks in and takes a selfie.
He is awesome. See, and I think since doing this podcast every Wednesday about covering WWE, it makes you realize, they do have some really good talent on there, and the talent that they use well, they're really, exceeding expectations. And Austin Theory is that person on Raw.
Yeah, I only wish Austin Theory somehow worked his way onto the Raw team.
That will be, you know what? Maybe he beats Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, no, but that was hilarious. I absolutely loved it. And it's great to have MVP back. It's kind of weird, though, MVP's back, but the Hurt Business was chasing after the 24/7 title, which we'll get into later.
They have no clue what they're doing with the Hurt Business at all.
And, I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. Adam Pearce shouldn't have been making that ruling. You know who should have been making that ruling?
King Xavier?
Or in this case, Queen Zelina.
Queen Zelina, yeah.
They should have full control over the brand that they're on.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, I really like this match. Big E versus Chad Gable. Chad's been getting some good TV time lately, and I'm happy for it.
Yeah, he puts on really good matches. This is ultimately where he'll peak in WWE, unless they give him a Daniel Bryan style push to sort of get the fans behind him. But otherwise, this is a good spot for him. He's up against the main eventers. He's putting on good matches. He comes up just short in both, whether it be against Balor or this match with Big E. And Otis is actually pretty nice to have as a tag team partner for him. I'm liking this version of Otis much better than the version
Right.
of Otis.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get a Big E Otis match before Survivor Series too. Maybe a tune-up match for Big E. I was thinking Chad Gable. I wish they would have kept the Cruiserweight title on the main brand, on the main roster, and put that belt on Chad Gable and let him be like a Cruiserweight destroyer.
Yeah, he'd be good for it.
Yeah. And treat it like it's a big deal. Have him compete against guys like Finn Balor. You got the Lotharios now, Angel Garza, and there's a ton of people on the main roster.
You can get even Montez Ford. He could be that tweener.
Yeah. No, unfortunately, that belt is
it's in purgatory. It's I don't even know who the champion is right now. I think they're supposed to be on NXT.
Yeah, it is. I don't even. Yeah. Oh, I know who the champ is. Roddy Strong. Just bring him to the main roster.
That's right.
Bring Diamond Mine to the main roster. We love
that's
Diamond
a gimmick that needs to go up.
Yeah. All right. So we were just talking 24/7 championship. We get a match in the ring, which doesn't happen often. We get Reggie versus Drake Maverick. And a lot of people hate this, but the thing that's terrible about this is everyone wins with the same maneuver, the roll up. But it was a fun spot seeing Corey Graves win gold for the first time in 13 years?
His reaction was so genuine. I felt happy for him because his career was cut short and he turned it into a commentating position, and he's really the best commentator that the WWE has on staff. He could possibly be the best commentator in all of professional wrestling. He's that good at what he does. And it was nice to see the genuine joy and elation he had for winning that title.
And then his facial when Byron Saxton beat him was even better.
It was great. I normally don't like these segments, but this was an actual entertaining segment for me. I was glad to see the Graves Saxton payoff.
Yeah, and then it all ends up with Reggie winning the belt back. Who would ever thought when Reggie debuted that he'd be anything more than a valet?
He still is a valet. He just is king of the jobbers.
Yeah, pretty talented though for all the acrobatic moves he can do.
Yeah, he can do his flips and stuff.
Yeah. Next up, Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair versus Carmella and Queen Zelina. This is to determine the number one contender. Prior to this match, there was a little dissension in the ladies' locker room. Doudrop, she's not happy that she's not part of this.
She goes out. She comes in and says, "You're only on this brand for 6 weeks now, and you get a number one opportunity and not me. Oh, excuse me, I've been on the roster for 4 months. Get out of here."
Doudrop, she's having a little tantrum. She'll get involved in this match too.
What do you think about this heel turn for Doudrop?
You know what? I just love talking about Doudrop.
I know you do. I was watching this and I'm going, Mark is definitely bringing this up on Wednesday because how the hell is Doudrop gonna now almost start to make this heel turn?
You know what? It makes me regret not having Queen Doudrop even more because she would have been an evil queen.
To me, this is all because they cut Nia Jax and they need a bigger girl as a heel, and they said,
Absolutely.
You know what, Doudrop, you'll slide right in there.
Yep, Hicksville called it. Doudrop is the new Nia Jax.
Didn't even see it.
Yeah, so Doudrop gets involved, and Liv Morgan ends up winning this. I'm okay with this. I like Liv Morgan, and it's better than seeing Becky versus Bianca Belair for the 1 millionth time.
I think it's nice to see new blood get a shot. We know Liv Morgan isn't going to win, but it's again, whenever you can start to elevate a person, like I remember back in the Attitude Era, it was always Chris Jericho, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit. They would get a main event shot, lose it, right? But we started to buy them as contenders, and ultimately they become heavyweight world champion, and then we're like, oh, that was great because we're along for the ride. I think this is a really good spot for Liv Morgan to show off what she can do, come close to victory, not defeat it, and then start building her up for an actual title reign.
Yeah. This will be good for her. So then it's main event time. Prior to the main event, backstage, we've seen KO going up to people saying, you believe me, right? I'm not really a bad guy. And everyone just really doesn't have any time for him. So he gets his match against Seth Rollins. Seth gets the win, but the big story is afterwards, KO finally, he snaps and he attacks Big E because Big E won't accept his apology. And heel KO is the best KO.
This is great because we saw this coming. The WWE did a good job all throughout the night. We knew something was going to happen. Owens was going to all the faces, Mysterio, saying, "I really respect you." And he went up to Big E and said, "Listen, man, you're one of the few guys that actually care what they think of me." It's really nice, and the fact that both of them sort of were rolled in to Big E, and it was almost that mistake by accident. And Big E came off kind of looking like a jerk, didn't he? Like, oh, I don't believe which is the problem they have with booking baby faces, that their baby faces look like jerks. Now, if Big E held his hand out and said, "Fine, whatever, dude, right, we can get past it," and Owens didn't let go of his hand and then turned on him, would have made it even better, because then we actually feel for Big E. Like, you know what? I'm pissed, but I'm going to accept your apology anyway because I do believe you, and that's when the turn happens. But that's just me nitpicking because they did a real good job with the story.
Yeah, no, I agree. And like you said earlier, this is a really great storyline for KO to be in as his contract winds down. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Can WWE sway KO to stay? What do you think?
No, he's already there.
He's already on Mount Rushmore.
You put him in the main, him against Hangman Page would be a fire match. Like Kevin Steen versus Hangman Page. Like, we can get, again, but AEW hasn't shown it to it, and we'll talk more about this on our Sunday show, but he has not done anything to prove that he can book the stars right now.
Yeah, Phil, I don't know if you remember, I already called KO's how he's going to debut in AEW. I don't know if I did this on the show. I think I just did this in a chat with you. But AEW has a relationship with the Owen Hart's family now. They're going to do an Owen Hart tournament. KO's going to debut and win that Owen Hart tournament.
That'd be great.
Yep, I think that's how I would book it. Tony, I know you're watching. Write it down, man. You got the pencil.
You got the pencil. You can book it.
All right. Are you ready to this is the real main event now. We're going to talk NXT.
Overall, Raw wasn't too bad. Not too bad at all.
No, not at all. NXT 2.0 starts off with Toxic Attraction versus Io Shirai, Casey Catanzaro, and Caden Carter. Toxic Attraction gets the win. What are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on first I want to know, what are your thoughts on the team of Catanzaro and Caden Carter?
This is it's again, WWE always finds a way to be like, you know what, we got a really nice faction I use that in air quotes when talking about Toxic Attraction. They're like, you know what, we need 3 people who have no association with each other other than they're pretty friendly. Fans seem to be okay with them as a way to elevate the talent. It's nothing more than trying to continue to boost the cachet of Toxic Attraction.
Yeah. You know what I want to talk about this match?
Go ahead.
Butt straps. Mandy Rose saw how over Jamie Hayter's little straps that formed the Rey Mysterio mask on her gear was, that she had to get some of her own. I don't know if you noticed, but she had the Rey Mysterio face on her butt as well.
I wanted to bring that up earlier because I actually didn't notice that. I'm thinking it's sort of like the new trend in wrestling. We go through these trends where we see random things catch on, and the butt straps are catching on.
I'm not against it. So Toxic Attraction gets the victory. You know what? I'm surprised I'm even saying this. I didn't hate Toxic Attraction this week.
You can't hate on them when they're booked pretty properly, and I can't hate on this booking. So good showing for them.
Yeah. All right. Next up. Oh, you know what? I think before this next match, we got a look at the WWE UK Super Show tour, some highlights from it. And who was on that Super Show tour but Braun Breaker? He's already on tour with the main roster guys. It's only a matter of time before he's gone.
Yes, you're right. But I don't trust him. I don't trust WWE right now to bring anyone up from NXT to the main roster. So we'll have to see.
Do you think he'll be wearing a mask and gimp outfit?
It's got to go somewhere.
All right. So while Toxic Attraction's still out, celebrating their victory, Kaylee Ray just busts through past them into the ring. She's facing Sarai, and this is basically an enhancement match. She gets the victory.
This was great. They made me a fan of Kaylee Ray right then and there. When she came through Toxic Attraction, like, move over, biatches, I'm going through, and just beat up a straight jobber. This is how you make stars. So Kaylee Ray is really impressed me, and I became a fan right then and there.
Yeah, no, I'm a
Mhm.
fan of enhancement matches. It does what it's supposed to do: build up the guy that you're trying to, or girl in this case, build them up, build your star up. Next up, we get Joe Gacy versus Boa. You know I love Joe Gacy. He wins by DQ this time.
Mhm.
Boa sort of snapped, and it got me thinking. Maybe I'm reading too much into this, but Joe Gacy brings out the worst in people.
This, which brings me the question to you: is Boa joining Gacy's stable?
I don't think so, because I think
Okay.
he's they had that other
Mhm.
like vignette last week with the woman who looked like she was from the ring.
Mhm.
I think Boa's tied to her, but
Mhm.
Gacy just brings this evil out in people, and maybe that's like
A really
I
good
don't.
gimmick.
Yeah.
The Gacy gimmick is really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What a dark horse
And
surprise.
you know what? He finds me saying, I can't believe I'm saying this about Joe Gacy. What have we done with our wrestling watching lives? When Braun Breaker's not on, I say to myself, hey, at least Gacy had a good storyline moment tonight.
Yeah, no, I
Hmm.
said it last week. I'm looking forward to Gacy probably even more than Braun Breaker now, because I feel like Braun Breaker is already a star. Joe
Hmm.
the star for Joe Gacy is just beginning. He's going to be
Hmm.
a I don't know if he'll ever be a main roster player, but he's definitely one of the centerpieces of this NXT 2.0.
Agreed.
And when his eventual release comes up, he's going to find himself in a good spot.
Yes, when they wish Gacy the best in his future endeavors,
Yeah.
he'll be starring on Impact.
Next up, the Creed brothers from Diamond Mine, which we said we love, versus
Mhm.
Jacket Time, and that's the team of Kushida and Jiro. Uh,
Oh my God. Poor Kushida. What have they done to
Absolutely.
him? This is the absolute worst. I feel like they didn't know what to do with Kushida. He was so over in New Japan. Was over as the light heavyweight champion for a bit. As soon as this 2.0 came out, they said, you know what will be good for 2.0? Kai and Tai 2.0, because that's officially what they've done to Kushida.
What's worse, Kushida's run in WWE or Impact's booking of Okada back in
No. Impact's booking of Okada being the
Okado.
being yes, exactly.
I don't know. Give it some more time.
You know what?
At
No,
least
no.
Okada was paired up with Samoa Joe.
That's what I was just about to say. I said, let me redact that and say, other than being stereotyped as Kato in there, it could have been a fun gimmick. The Green Hornet's a character that I like,
Yeah,
so I'd be into it. But man, maybe the Jacket Time is worse than anything Okada could have been through.
yeah. Then we get uh Duke Hudson, more of this Duke Hudson's poker room and Cameron Grimes. Duke Hudson, man. Like not everyone needs an occupation or
But he does.
yeah, that's all he's got going for him, man.
These I've realized these segments backstage for NXT 2.0 are the absolute worst. Like this is bottom barrel stuff. They're filmed terrible. The sound quality's terrible. The gimmicks are terrible. It's just brutal.
Yeah. It's a shame. Cameron Grimes is a fun character. Um,
Hmm.
uh, just it's a shame.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, I mean, it's good that Grimes, gets a follow-up match and he ends up winning that and going
Yep.
over because it kind of cleans like the dirt of this terrible
Yeah.
backstage
Uh,
vignette.
Yeah, Grimes gets the win over our
Mhm.
favorite NXT jobber, Roofing.
Rufang.
Also, we get American Badass Raquel Gonzalez. She comes out and she
Mhm.
calls out Dakota Kai, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
Yep.
And Cora Jade comes out. She wants a piece of Dakota Kai too. And Raquel Gonzalez says, no, she's mine. And Cora
Mhm.
Jade's like, okay, fist bump. So stupid.
this this is, I don't know if it was supposed to show fear or it's supposed to be friendliness with it,
Right.
but I just wish Raquel Gonzalez popped her in the face. She looked at the fist bump and hit her with like an elbow,
Yeah,
something to increase the badassery of it.
absolutely. Next up, LA Knight versus Solo Sakai versus Grayson Waller. Uh, LA Knight and Grayson Waller are still having this feud over hosting Halloween Havoc, and now Solo Sakai is or Sikoa is part of this, and they both lose to Sikoa in a three-way. Poor LA Knight.
Eli Drake deserves better than this. I refuse to call him LA Knight
Yeah.
because calling him LA Knight diminishes everything that he worked so hard to get to up into this point. Eli Drake has to go home. He has to go back to Impact because he is just so wasted on this show.
I'm gonna repackage LA Knight and
Okay.
put him on the main roster, and you're gonna be surprised who I'm gonna pair him up with. But I'm gonna pair him up with Robert Stone, and Robert Stone is gonna be like his Ari from Entourage, his agent, and
Mhm.
LA Knight's gonna be the big star.
That would be great. Bruce, we know you're watching the show. Book it.
Oh, Solo Sikoa gets the victory. Do you think this guy's going to be on the main roster soon?
Give it about. He may show up. Um, he may show up and help Roman win a match. That's how
Yeah.
I think ultimately. If it's Survivor Series and they have the champ against champ,
Mm-hmm.
this may be where maybe the New Day runs out, Bloodline runs out, yeah, cause a whole thing, and then I think he will come out and probably help Roman get the win over Big E, and that'll be like welcome to the, and then he'll just show up on SmackDown.
Next up, Elektra Lopez versus Erica Yan. Lopez gets the victory. She's got her eyes on what's his name, Zion Quinn.
Yes.
So afterwards, Zion Quinn comes out and she like basically tells him that are you
Mhm.
with us or what? And he's like, no. But then they do this weird like
Weird.
dance.
They share a moment.
Yeah.
They share a moment together before, and like she lets him walk away.
Yeah. They love having this Zion Quinn guy dance.
Yeah, they do. This whole thing is a waste of time, isn't it?
He's going to the main roster with a dancing gimmick.
It's Fandango 2.0.
Yeah. Hicks Villain says LA Knight's biggest moment in WWE will be taking a chop from Flair in the Car Shield commercials. Then we get it's main event time. Carmelo Hayes versus Pete Dunne. It's nice to see Pete Dunne back on NXT 2.0. I feel like he if we're booking my fantasy cruiserweight division, he's the top. He's one of the top heels in it.
Right. I mean, think about this segment prior to it. We have Pete Dunne going up to Tony D'Angelo, the guy we hate most.
We
right?
don't even talk about him.
They're trying to really push him, and in this way that he's ultimately going to go over Pete Dunne, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Shame.
Yep. So Pete Dunne versus Carmelo Hayes. We get involvement from Johnny Gargano and Dexter Loomis, and it ends up with Dunne winning by pinfall. But the North American title was not on the line.
No, and this was. I'm really liking what they're doing with Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. Both of those guys, Trick Williams more so than Carmelo, but they have really good charisma in the ring. I like the hand coming out to grab the boot of Mello,
Mhm.
and then it being, Johnny Gargano. So I thought it was a really nice ending to the match, and it furthers the storyline and gets Pete Dunne a well-deserved win.
We also got a little vignette before that with Kyle O'Reilly, Imperium, I guess,
Mhm.
confronted him, and Von Wagner comes out for the save. Um,
This ends with in end of December at whatever pay-per-view they do, possibly a takeover. This ends with Von Wagner and Kyle O'Reilly defeating Imperium, and then Von Wagner beating the crud out of Kyle O'Reilly, sending
oh,
Kyle O'Reilly
you
off.
think Von Wagner is going to turn heel on Kyle?
Yes, I do, and
Oh,
I think he's gonna end up smashing him to bits, and that's the last we see of Kyle O'Reilly in NXT.
and then Von Wagner just be the tag team champions by himself.
I think he'll come out. I think he'll come out, just lay both belts down, and
Yeah.
be like, "I don't need these because I got rid of the dead weight." I think anytime Vince and Bruce can say, "I'm bigger than the tag division," they take that opportunity. Look what they did with Braun Strowman. He won it with the referee's
Nicholas,
kid,
yeah.
right? Nicholas. So anytime they get a big guy to say, "I'm bigger than the tag titles," this is their chance to do it.
Hicks Villain says the takeover name got released with the other wrestlers this week.
Yeah, it's just NXT War Games. I saw that.
Yeah. Is that like, are they touring War Games, or is that just in the Performance Center?
No, just in the performance. They as soon as NXT lost against AEW, I think they realized they're just going straight up developmental. They don't even think of it
Yeah.
as a third brand anymore.
Who would even go see that if it was in an arena? Maybe you and I would for fun.
Oh, we totally would. Are you kidding me? If they come in the area and tour, I think we owe it to ourselves.
Bring our Joe Gacy signs.
I'll have a Rex Steiner sign.
Oh, that'll get confiscated.
Yeah, but at least we can use it for good pod fodder.
So is there anything else you wanted to talk about? I finally did watch SmackDown. I saw the beatdown of New Day by the Bloodline. That was great stuff, especially King Woods versus one of the Usos, where you had to bend the knee if you lost. See, that's great. That's great King stuff.
Right. The SmackDown is probably the best wrestling show so far. Even better than Dynamite. Don't get me wrong, I love AEW, more than I do WWE, but SmackDown, they bring up these shows where you don't like. I didn't think I could ever get invested in Naomi again, right? But just this feud that with Shayna Baszler and Sonya Deville in there, it's real. That's interesting. The Roman Reigns returns. With the setup, Jimmy Uso and Xavier Woods is good storytelling. SmackDown just seems to have, the momentum going on their side.
I said Angel Garza and Humberto Correa needed a name. They named them the Lotharios. Perfect name for them. So yeah, SmackDown's a good show.
Right. Poor Cesaro can't catch a break. Teaming up with Mansoor.
And he takes the pinfall.
Right.
You gotta protect
him. Hey, listen. The Saudi show is just another 8 months away.
Man, poor Cesaro.
But I think the character development of Shotzi Blackheart is great. I think having a little bit of an attitude is good for the character. I know people are like, "Oh no, they're putting her in a dress and taking." No, calm down. Her backstage stuff is in a dress. She's still gonna do the same gimmick, but giving her a little fire and attitude's good stuff.
Yeah, Hicks Villain says that's Angel and Humberto. Their last names are gone with Takeover as well.
Yeah.
Oh, one thing I do want to bring up, WWE likes to take away people's names. Shout out to my man Veer Mahan, who was just Veer prior to the draft. He gained a last name. That's unheard of.
It's because they have to. Because they're going to team him up with Jinder, who still has the Mahal last name. So they can be like, Mahan and Mahal, they're cousins. It's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming.
So that'll do it for this week on the Pod Gods. A pretty quick show. Nothing major happened, but some good content in there. NXT is just always a joy to talk about.
Yeah, for the wrong reasons.
Yeah. So coming up this weekend, we got Full Gear. Phil and I will be there in a theater watching it on Saturday, and we'll be back Sunday to talk all about it. Phil, where can people find you at?
You can find me at Instagram and at Twitter at AnimatedPhil. If you want to help support me get a new desktop so I don't have to do this from an iPad, hit up the Etsy store below, pick up some prints. They come free signed. So
I've been keeping track of your Etsy store. I see the sales number ticking up. So
yeah, I actually just got a sale as of this morning. So I got to go ship that out over the weekend.
And you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Coney Waves. Make sure you subscribe to Primetime Poulton. Hit the notifications. Go check out US Assassin if you haven't yet. Books will be ordered probably tonight and fulfilling real soon. I keep saying that I'm going to finish up Viking Wolf this weekend. Only 60-some packages left to send. Once I end the stream with Phil, I'm going to get back to that, putting the collector cases together. So thanks, everyone, for joining us tonight, and we will see you Sunday.